Hi everyone. Today I will be discussing about the rapid shift that is happening around the world. I mentioned it before in my previous posts as well, but I'll focus more on it, of course, specifically when it comes to the aspect of spirituality. Um, Spirituality is something subjective. Everybody sees it in a different way. Uh, for me, spirituality is not simply communication with the spirit or to know your soul. It is the entire orchestra, the network that exists within the universe, the unseen. Everything, when we talk about the unseen, yes, the truth is unseen. It is beyond any form or name. It's infinite. You cannot define it. But within that emptiness, nothingness, uh, a, a consciousness exists, and all the decisions are being made from there. Nothing happens without the will of God. And there is a system, there is a kingdom, you know. We have learned in religion and in gnosis, if you have studied gnosticism, it teaches the same thing, that there are two kingdoms, kingdom of heaven and kingdom of hell, and these two polarities, they are basically a part of God's plan to sustain life. It's nothing by accident. Although when we read uh, the Quran or other scriptures, we have learned that the universe was created in 6 days, and he created angels and demons, and then the story of Adam and Eve and everything. And but when you are in this moment, you sense that everything is like a domino effect. It was meant to be. um, we don't know exactly what occurred, but um, when you think from a mystical perspective, you realize everything is happening in this moment, and it's a story. And no matter how knowledgeable you become and you are able to control your destiny, you still are a puppet. You know, nobody is more powerful than the creator. And so, yeah, the point is that it's very important to remain here and now. First, you begin with your well being, and that keeps you still and relaxed, because most of 99.9% of the time we are in fiction, right? We are thinking about things that are unnecessary, and we just pollute our minds and bodies and soul, and it just takes away all that strength that we need to create, to develop, to evolve. And so yeah, this is the greatest mystery, how everything is happening through God's plan. At the same time, we have a choice, and one can never really tell, what actually was our our choice. I mean, we can logically say that okay, this is good, and I did not do this. This was God's will, and I committed this sin. This is a story of Moses and Hazrat Khizr, who was also was a saint, or some people call him an angel, who was extremely wise, and he basically um, showed Moses, uh, how things are not the way they appear, and Moses had this pride that he has a lot of knowledge, and he wanted to communicate with somebody who was on his level, or somebody who knows more than him. But he thought that he just couldn't believe what he was saying, and when he started questioning him, Hazrat Khizr, he showed him, that a particular catastrophe that occurred in a village. Let's say people were meant to die, or some boy was meant to drown, or something bad that logically appeared to be cruel or bad, uh, was actually God's will, because it was necessary. It's so everything that we see in the world is only a ripple effect, or a manifestation or result of what is happening behind the scenes. We just see just of it, just a tip of the iceberg. We have no clue. There's a spiritual warfare going on, for example, and even that warfare is orchestrated. So it's quite interesting how it's a film, and we are playing each of us are, we are playing a role. We have the ability to change our destiny, but at the same time we are just nothing. And yeah, so um, yeah, what I'm trying to say is that mysticism is beyond right and wrong, beyond tradition, what we think that this is how things should be, and so yeah, so coming back to the whole process of spiritual evolution that is occurring, the cosmic the consciousness that is evolving and shifting, and it's affecting everyone on the planet. And some people are talking about new world order, World War III, so many things. Um, I mean, when we see things logically, for example, you read the newspaper, you will see one thing, one aspect, and if you read somebody's lecture, a story, or whatever, uh, who's a conspiracy theorist, he will give you a completely different view of that. And if you listen to somebody who's spiritual, you know, or a scholar, he will give his own opinion. Uh, so yeah, I mean, everybody is right in their own way, but of course, there is one. definite explanation for everything. That I mean, you can't say that this is the only answer. But for example, when you read the Quran, it's one message, one beam of light, but it is being, it has layers. The truth has layers. The scripture uh, is, can be understood on so many levels. That means reality exists on multiple levels, multiple dimensions. There's this zahir, the what appears, the physical, and then the esoteric, the spiritual, and the mystical, dimension. Uh, so yeah, you can't just pinpoint fingers. So the people who, the more they are knowledgeable, they have more clarity in any field. Let's say a physicist, he has an idea about quantum science compared to a child who is in grade 8. He must be a smart kid, but he doesn't know anything compared to that person. He can only assume something and speak it according to his intellect, but he doesn't have that clarity. He's just seeing things from a very vague perspective. The same way, uh, when we are children, we have a different view of life, and slowly and gradually, we enter this world, and that vision it starts shifting. And the more we wake up spiritually, we start seeing things uh, beyond the five senses, and we realize that the world is not the way it seems. Anyway, so today I want to go more deeper rather than just repeating what I've said before. So, yeah, I feel that one should really have clarity about who they are at an individual level, because you can easily get trapped in the different ideologies. When you're watching television or you're reading the news, and I mean, it's good to know about what's happening around you, but one should not get trapped in the propaganda and all these things, because if you don't have a mission, or your vision, you can get distracted and trapped, right? And So it's important to stay focused on, ask yourself, why am I here? And yeah, and keep working on yourself. And everybody is different, one it's not like a one size fits all rule, that we often see in the society, that we try to fit everybody in a box. Everybody is unique, and yeah, so one can learn from everyone, but one needs to have a clear and open mind, that you listen to your intuition, your calling. Don't uh, don't uh, judge or shut somebody up. If you really have faith in yourself, oh God, you won't need to be aggressive or fight with anybody. You won't get violent, right? I mean, that, I mean, I have a lot of violence and terror within me, and it's because I don't have faith. Uh, yes, I am speaking through these videos because I want to share, what's within, and instead of just trying to shut myself off, or just talking about fancy things and becoming this person that I'm not, just for the sake of likes and views and everything. Anybody can do that. It takes courage to be naked, be completely open, and especially in a society where creative expression, at least in my country, Pakistan, there is this claustrophobic environment, um, that you are allowed to express, but in a certain way. You cannot question the establishment or the military, or you know say anything that may offend uh, certain uh, individual, for example, religious authorities and all that. And that says a lot about where the country stands. If you talk about patriotism, you will never. I mean, patriotism is about loving the nation, and nation is only built by its people, no matter what religion they follow. Any religion is based on humanity, and if you treat your humans like you're treating, I mean, you treat slaves, then your own country will become a slave eventually. And that is what's happening, right? Uh, so yeah, it's very important that each one of us uh, tries to become that, instead of expecting the government or the higher officials, or whoever is controlling the politicians, the media, etc., to change. And they will change if we change together. I know it sounds a bit cliched, but this is why we are here. To when you are knowing yourself, when you move in the path of devotion, you have to have compassion for even your enemies. You have to have reverence for every person. You and yeah, that's what when I observe myself, I realize that I get offended so easily, and it's so easy to talk about spiritual things, to fall in love with the idea of spirituality, just like an artist is, he romanticizes beauty, but he could be extremely narcissistic, and he is not actually able to love. You can be in the love, in love with the idea of love, but actually loving, it's so rare that it has become a myth. It's rare. That's why saints are rare in this world. They are 1%. Uh, they are the elite of the universe, the agents of God. Those devotees who are very few. I mean, I'm not saying that people most people are evil. No, everybody has a dark side. Everybody is different, but to love, that's what I'm learning. That um, it's not about writing books or giving lectures or having powers. It's about being nothing. It's about sacrificing. It's about uh, living for others. That is spirituality. That is religion. um, Life doesn't end after enlightenment, it's the beginning, and one is fortunate if they attain faith and are able to be of service to others. If you can become a friend of God, if you can find the right teacher to guide you in this life, to you know to commit to Allah, God. So yeah, I guess I'll keep it short today, and hopefully I will post more often. Till then, take care. Bye bye.